Hey there, Tenno here, and welcome back to the Warframe New Player's Guide. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Orkin Catalysts, Orkin Reactors, Formas, Exilis, the basics, the math, kind of the underlying power system behind upgrading weapons and warframes using mod cards. Let's go ahead. This one's probably going to be a little bit longer, but let's dive into it. We'll try and keep it as short as possible, but there's a lot to cover here. To begin with, we are on my primary account. So the reason I bring this up is if you watch the mastery video, I'm master rank 19. What this is going to mean is if I look at a weapon, like if we come in here and look at this Onika's, and then go ahead and go under upgrade for them, I have a capacity of 19. So your base capacity that you're going to have in a weapon, it's going to be whatever is higher, your mastery rank or the weapon rank. So until I hit rank 20, this weapon's going to be that. If we went ahead and we equipped a brand new weapon, these dual Razas, for example, and then go ahead and upgrade these, you're going to see they're also going to have 19 power capacity. So this, depending on where you're at, is going to be quite a bit different from me. If you're master rank 5 and you put a brand new weapon on with no capacity, nothing on it yet, you're only going to have a power capacity of 5. So that's going to be something just to keep in mind. If you see my numbers seem a little bit higher than yours, it's probably because of my mastery rank. Okay. To begin with, let's start by looking at something like, what's a good start? Let's take this Cybers Prime out here. In order to mod out your gear, well, we're obviously we're in the armory here. We're going to come under here. You have basically two factors you got to deal with. You have to deal with the power capacity, which for a standard non-upgraded weapon is going to be 30 when it's at max rank. And that's what this Cybers is at right here. You can see here max rank. So we maxed it out to 30. So you got 30 power to deal with. You also then only have 8 mod slots in which you can put cards. And we can go ahead and like just drop this in. You'll see if we look at a mod card, which is down here, our whole bottom line here. And if you look at the upper right-hand corner, those are the power capacity. So this cryo rounds here costs 11. Serration costs 14. Heavy caliber costs 16. Now this is a fully upgraded one. They do come in different, well, they start zeroed out and we level them up. And I guess maybe we should cover that real quickly. Let's just go ahead and we'll look at Serration. Right, so you can see here I have several different serrations. I actually have 29 of the base model serration with nothing in it. I have one of the fully maxed out guy at 14. I also have one that's done up to 6, so this guy's plus 6. He's at 105%. What you can do, go ahead and we'll drop this guy in there for right now. So we'll put a serration and we'll go back. I didn't mean to go back. I meant to exit out of this sort. Down here, if we click mods, what this will do is this is going to move us over to the modding bench. And in here, you can go ahead, you can spend endo plus currency in order to upgrade this card. And we covered this a little bit in one of the earlier ones, but we click that, we can go ahead, we can fuse this, and we can then adjust it up. So for 4 power, we get 15%. For 5 power, we get 30%, and if we go all the way through, for 14 power, we get 165%. But that's going to cost us 20,000 endo, plus nearly 100,000 credits to do. For demonstration purposes, we'll just go ahead and we'll do like a plus 3, which is 140 endo, 6,000. Apply that, yes, go back. Now we can exit out. Go ahead and exit back. And we're back here. Now you can see the serration is now 60% rather than the 15% with a power cost of 7. So that is going to be where that comes from. Anyway, we're looking still at the main ones here. So you have 8 slots to work with, 30 power to deal with. Well, as you can probably already tell, if we start putting some of these higher rank ones in here, very quickly we're going to run out of that 30 power, even if we match up polarities. So these little icons here, these are the different polarities. Same with the symbol to the right of the power number you're drawing. So these guys here, this serration, this is what we call V polarity. Right there, it's Mudari. So these guys, if you match polarity, you reduced the cost by 50%. So heavy caliber getting plugged in there is going to go down to 8. Serration getting plugged in there is going to go down to 7. Now it is rounded up, so if you have an odd number one here like split chamber 15, that's also going to cost 8. So if you put a mod card into a non-polarized slot, it's the full cost. If you put it into one that matches, it's half cost. If you put it in one that it's opposite of or different from, it goes up by 25% rounded up. So this 16 guy is actually going to become 20. If we go ahead and put serration in there, it's going to become 18, so it's still 4 rounded up, or it's like 3.75, so it's rounded up to 4. If we get down to a 9, if we put a 9 in there, it only goes up by 3. If we go down to 7, it's going to go up by 2, like so on and stuff. So Different polarity rounds up by 25%. Same polarity reduced by 50%, or the full cost by putting it in there. So by doing this, you can maybe get a little bit better off. So we could go ahead, and serration is basically a must, but we'll put that there. We'll put that there. Let's go ahead and we'll just put like 2 of these in here. Infected clip. But we're already out of power. So here we are. Even using the best we could try to do, we could go ahead and drop that out of there, put infected clip in there, then come back in here and try and put something like for 10. There's a 10 serration. There we go. But we're only able to put 4 mod cards in here, and we've used up all of our power already. I mean, I suppose we could come down here and we could use like lower level ones rather than the really high Hellfire. We could use like a lower Hellfire. So let's see, GLL. We could use like a base level Hellfire, you know, things along those lines. But that's leaving our weapon severely restricted in what we can do. Well, if you're running into this problem, what you can do, you can click Actions. Under Actions, you have the option to double a mod capacity. So for weapons, this is going to use Orokin reactors, right? And this is a somewhat rare item. We'll talk about how you get it here in a moment. But what this does is this will just take that 30 and straight up double it to 60. I don't actually want to put one into this Cyberus because I don't really like this weapon. But if we back out and then go ahead and equip, say, just this Tiburon right here, go under upgrade, you'll see here he has 60 power. If we take everything out of there, the Tiburon Prime has 60 power to work with, and that's because I went ahead and I installed an Orokin catalyst into him. So it doubles that base power rate up there. Okay, now with 60 power, we have a lot more we can work with. So let's go ahead, we'll look under Midari again. We're going to definitely, you want serration, you always want that plus damage, but we also want a lot of multi-shot. In a future video, we will dive into the different mods and good primary ways to mod it out. We're going to come over here and we're going to say, let's see, we want to put corrosion on. So we want infected clip and Stormbringer. When those combine together, that's going to give us corrosion. As you can see there, right now we have 413 corrosion on the weapon. We also are going to want, this weapon has really high crits, or can have really high crits. So we're going to go back over here. Let's search out critical. We're going to add point strike in. All right, and then so that's going to increase our critical chance. Then we're going to add Vital Sense in, which is going to increase our critical damage done on that. All right, well then let's go ahead and also we can add in Argon Scope for even more critical chance when we headshot someone. So between this, we're going to basically have 100% critical chance. Well, now we have 1 power left for 1 mod slot, and there's nothing we can really do with 1 power, and we're just leaving some additional possibilities on the table for us. Well, when you get to something like this, what you can then do, if you come in here, you can add an additional polarity slot. So we could click on this, and this is going to use a forma, and what you can do is through here, you can add a different polarity. So if we look here, we can kind of see in the background, like, my next highest card that I'm spending is Serration. So what I could probably do is I could go ahead, add a V polarity, apply this. Now, I'm not going to do it right now because I don't know if I want to waste a forma on the Tiburon. It wouldn't hurt, but I don't want to do it for right now. Adding this V polarity, what this is going to do is this is going to take the weapon and it's going to reset it back down to rank 0. So we're going to go for this, we'd go down to actually to 38 power. That 38 power is because I have a mastery rank of 19, which is then being doubled by the Orokin Catalyst. So the 19 and 19 is 38. If you're master rank 5, you would have either 5 power, or if you have an Orokin Catalyst installed, you would have 10 power, right? And then you have to level it all the way back up again, back to max rank, where you'll be back to either the 30 or 60, and then you can go ahead and try it again. So you reset the weapon back down. And that's what this symbol up here kind of shows, this little halo wreath. So if you got just the basic wreath, that means the weapon's been mastered. You've taken it up to rank 30. If you have a number inside that, that tells you how many times you've put Forma into it. So if we look at the Rubico Prime here, I've added 2 Forma into this guy. That's what that 2 number stands for. The Supra Vandal, I've added 3 into it. The original Rubico, I've added 4 into it. So you can go through, and you have to do this for some weapons. The Rubico is a pretty good example. The Rubico is a great sniper rifle. Not the best in the game, but a very strong sniper rifle with a very high critical chance. But in order to fully maximize it out, you need quite a few Forma. You need at least 4, probably closer to 5 Forma to fully max this guy out, because you're going to want, again, you're going to want the Serration, you're going to want the Split Chamber, which is the multi-shot, you're going to go ahead and you're going to want to apply an elemental damage to it, so probably corrosive, maybe radiation, depending on if you're going Eidolon hunting or not, but you're going to want that. We're going to come back in here, but we also want to do the critical then, so we're going to want point strike. We're going to want Vital Sense. We're going to probably want more multi-shot, which was right there. It was just there, but let's go ahead and we'll search multi-shot, vigilante armaments. We'll go ahead and put that there. And now we're down to the point where we have 6 power left over for 1 slot left. And there's some okay things we can do for 6 power. We can't quite do an argon scope. Argon scope would require 7. We'll just keep scrolling over here. You could do okay stuff with 6 power. But if we really wanted to continue maximizing this out, then we'd want to go ahead and apply an additional forma to the weapon, taking it up to, +5 at that point in order to go. We're not going to do that because I now have the Rubico Prime, so I'm pretty much done with the Rubico at this point. But that's the way it works for primaries and secondary weapons. Melee weapons and Warframes build off of this. Hopefully all that makes sense. Did I miss anything? No, we got everything good. We did miss one small thing. So something you can do, say you have a weapon with a polarity that doesn't fit what you want to do with it. I'm trying to think of one that maybe has that. Let's see here. Let's just go back in here to the Tiburon. Let's go under here. Let's just say we don't actually want 2 dash polarities. What you can do is you can actually use forma to also remove it. So you can see here, we can take it down to nothing. So right now, nothing's applied. We click it. That's going to make it a blank slot. Or you could do a V slot or a hash slot, right? So we could remove that dash down to something. So that is another possibility you can do with forma. You can also, through swap polarities, you can move things around. You can only do that if you've already formed a weapon once. So click here. Let's go up here to the Rubico, upgrade. Go back into actions, swap polarity. So this doesn't cost anything. This doesn't reset it, but we can just move the different polarities around to different places, just so if you want to organize it out a little bit. Also, when it comes to applying elements, there's a certain pattern that the elements go in for when it calculates out. So you might need to move this around sometimes in order to do that. So that's another thing you can do. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's jump down here to melee weapons. Melees have a slightly different thing about them. What they have is a stance. So this extra 9th slot up here is called the stance, and we have a new option down here. If we click on that, this works differently than all other polarity slots. Stances are just straight polarity boost. So if we match polarity, what we're going to do is, so this guy right here, you can see crossing snakes. It is a dash polarity right there, or yes, yeah, slash, I don't know. If we put this in though, it's going to take our power and it's going to straight up add 10 to it, right? So it was 5. Putting it in there because it matches makes it 10, which adds 10 power to the overall potential. If we put one that doesn't match, it's rounded down. So this double guy here, there, we're only going to get 4. So you get 75% of the power rounded down. If we put a 2 in there, we're only going to get 1. Right? So this is just a straight up upgrade. Depending on if you have one that matches or not, it can be a different thing. Let's go back here and let's equip, say, these Okinas. Jump in here. So this guy's getting moved through. If we go in here, we got whole bunch of, oops, I want stance. We got a few different options in here, but again, we can go ahead, it's going to add 10 to it, or we can add, one of these other ones that will add less to it. This does not get doubled by the reactor. This just adds on. So when we go to max rank, so this would be, say, 30, we go ahead and add this in, it would give us 40. If we add in the Orkin Catalyst, and go back, you would still have a normal 60. It would only add 10 on top of that, giving you 70. It doesn't double this also, that you don't end up adding 20 based on this. But that is what the stance cards are. They're just a straight up flat across the board upgrade. If you have them, ideally you want to match them up. You can get a lot more power out of your melee weapons to really push what you can get out of these 8 mod cards without having to forma too many times, which is quite nice. You can also, we can't demonstrate it here because this is maxed out, but you could go ahead and you can use your forma to change the polarity up here to also match. And you can also acquire these without a forma polarity up here. So it's just a normal polarity, in which case if you put this guy in there, it would just be 5. Stance cards can also only go into the stance slot. You can't put them into a different slot like that. And that will lead us into Warframes. If we go under Warframes, Warframes have 2 additional slots at the top. One is Aura. Auras function just like the stances on melee weapons. So we come through here and if we match up the Aura, so we'll just go ahead and we'll put Steel Charge. Steel Charge costs 9, fully upgraded. We put that in there. It's going to add 18 power to the overall Warframe possibility. Rifle amp is 7. If we put that guy in there, he's going to give us 14 power. If we put one that doesn't match, we're going to get 75% rounded down. So we're going to gain 5 power if we put rejuvenation in there. So that's what auras are. Aura cards can only go into the aura slot. If we try to put one of these into a different slot, it doesn't do anything, can only match to the aura slot like that. Auras tend to be, well, they're exactly that. You can see what they are here. So we have some ones that like add weapon damage, rifle damage. The common one that everyone's after, corrosive projection, just a flat across the board 30% reduction in enemy armor around you. That one's good. Certain ones, energy siphon can be very powerful for. It just gives you a slow energy tick. Early on, rejuvenation is pretty strong up till mid-game. Rejuvenation can keep you going quite a bit. Once your health gets pretty high, 3 heal per second isn't all that much. It takes a long time to get a lot of health back. Beyond the aura slot, which just by default is unlocked, you then have the Exilis slot. So whenever you get a new Warframe, this slot is always going to be locked for you. Even if you buy it from the marketplace, the Exilis slot is locked. In order to unlock the Exilis, you require something called an Exilis adapter, which can be purchased for 20 platinum. They can also be crafted and acquired other ways. We'll talk about that here in a moment. I'm not going to actually apply one to Volt here. I don't want to apply to Volt. Oh, actually, before we dive into that, there is Orkin reactors. So I talked about, we have catalysts. Catalysts are used for upgrading weapons, primaries and secondaries. They're also used for upgrading companions. So if we jump in here, I'm sorry, no, Orkin reactors are used for upgrading companions. So Orkin catalysts are weapons. Orkin reactors are for upgrading your Warframe or a companion. I'm going to guess off the top of my head, this is going to be, yeah, a catalyst, because this is a weapon for the companion. This is the companion's weapon. So this uses a catalyst, reactors. They're basically all the same thing. There's just a different item for the Warframes, okay? But if we go ahead and went here in Vault and plugged one of these in, we'd go from 30 power up to 60 power. The Aura mod still only doubles based off its base level. It would still only give us, if we put a 5 in here, it would still only give us plus 10 overall. It does not give us plus 20 based off of having that installed. So there's that. I'm not going to go put one in there. Let's go ahead and we will click on Zephyr Prime here, though. Where Zephyr, I know I have the Exilis mod unlocked. So I went ahead and I spent the 20 platinum, or I crafted one of these, I don't remember, to unlock this. Exilis slots are generally like convenience slots. They offer like quality of life type things. So you got here a whole nother set of different mods that are Exilis. Now these mods, beyond being Exilis, they also then have a polarity slot to them. Right now this Exilis slot doesn't have a polarity to it, so I can go ahead and put anything in there, and it's just going to cost whatever it costs. Unlike the Aura mod, this does retract from our overall. So we have 60 energy. Putting this guy in for 11 takes us down to 49. Putting this guy up there for there takes us down to 51, costs 9. And these are just, like I said, generally quality of life, convenience type mods that you can put in. One of the differences about Exilis mods, though, is they can be put anywhere. So an Exilis mod doesn't need to go into the Exilis slot. They can go into any of the other slots. So we could put Rush down there in the dash polarity, where it's only going to cost 6 rather than 11 if you want to be running around a little bit faster. Basically, Exilis slot is just one additional slot that you can use to mod out frames. However, only Exilis mods can go in there. So if we tried to put like Handspring into, only Exilis mods can go in there, but Exilis mods can go anywhere else. If we tried to put just a random mod like Rage up in there, which is not an Exilis mod, we can't put that into the Exilis slot. So you're somewhat limited. These mods can go anywhere, though. Hopefully that makes sense. Over here, you do have Arcanes. For now, ignore these. These come from Eidolons that you're going to farm. This comes right now, basically the most end game you can get to. Once you've finished all the story, that's where you'll start farming these. I will cover these in a later video. As a new player, you're not going to be dealing with these at all. They're just static upgrades that you can plug in, change out as needed. Yeah, I think we're coming around. So hopefully all that makes sense. Basically, whatever it costs is what it costs. If you match polarities, you reduce it cost by 50%. If you're the wrong polarity, you increase it by 25. Aura slots, stance slots, add power to it. Matching it doubles the power it adds to it. Add in a reactor or a catalyst if you really like something and you want to double its power capacity. The Exilis slot is just an additional 9th slot that you can put any Exilis mod into, but Exilis mods can also go anywhere else. Let's talk now about acquiring these things. So you can go ahead and let's just say, click back in here. Let's click Vault again. Where did Vault go? Right there. Let's just say we went in here and I really liked Volt. I wanted to go ahead and double his mod capacity. Right now you can see I have one Orkin reactor in my inventory, but let's say I didn't have any. Well, if I clicked on this, it would offer me the chance to buy an Orkin reactor for 20 platinum. Same with a weapon. Say we had a weapon we really liked and we wanted to upgrade that weapon. Let's just take this Stradivar right here, upgrade, click actions. The same thing would happen. If we didn't have any in our inventory, if we wanted to, we could click this. It would offer us to just buy one off the market for 20 platinum. Just like you also saw happen with the Exilis slot there. If I wanted to, I could just buy one of them for 20 platinum. You can also do this with the Formas. If we didn't have any Formas and we wanted to add a polarity, it would say, hey, do you want to just buy a Forma for 20 platinum, I think, or it's 3 for 35. We can also check this by walking up to the marketplace. Come on, exit out. Come on, game. Oh boy. There we go. Run up here, check the marketplace, and if we search reactor, right there you can see the reactor for 20 platinum. Catalyst, it's going to be the same thing. There's the Orkin Catalyst, the Exilis item. Right there's the Exilis adapter for 20 platinum. And then we can also do the Forma. The Formas do come in 2 flavors. So a single Forma for 20 or 3 Forma for 35. So obviously the 3 Forma for 35 is a much better deal. However, you do not need to buy them. If you watch up here, if you keep a track of different alerts that are going on, invasions and the sortie, actually, no, that's Orkin Cell. Darn, I got excited for a moment there. I thought that was an Orkin reactor, but no, Orkin Cells are a crafting material used for making some of this stuff. But anyway, on occasion, you will see blueprints from alerts. You will see an alert for a blueprint to craft an Orkin reactor or an Orkin catalyst. Very rarely for an Exilis, and on occasion for Formas. These tend to fall around the live streams, so they do live streams throughout the week. On Mondays, they do one for Xbox, I believe. Tuesday is PlayStation. Thursday is a general, PC live stream. And then Friday, every other Friday, roughly, they do, a developer diary upgrade where they talk about things that are coming to the game. And that's roughly every other week, like I said. Generally, when they do those streams, at the end of the stream, they will drop an alert. And it's not uncommon for that alert to be from a reactor or a catalyst. You're not going to see it you're not going to always see them, but twice a week, you'll be able to get one of those from alerts. The best thing to do here is if you have a smartphone, download the Warframe app for it. It's a very good app, but in there you can set up notifications and it will actually just send you a little beep. It'll ding you when one of those drops, and it'll watch and it'll see if a alert for an Orkin reactor happens, you'll get a notification saying, hey, you got an Orkin reactor alert for the next 90 minutes or so that you can do. Beyond this, you also have invasions. Depending on where you are in the star chart, you may not have too many of these, but these invasions can, as a reward, on occasion, give you all of these. You can get the Forma, the reactor, the catalyst, even the Exilis blueprint from doing these invasions. Right now, there are none going on. I have footage, I think, of one of these. I'll overlay that over that for that. So you can get them from invasions. You just got to keep an eye on these when they pop up. You have a few hour window to do them before they're going to go away. The more common way you can kind of do it is over here. This is the sortie. So this is a late game mission that happens. It's actually 3 missions tied together. So this refreshes every 24 hours. But if you do all 3 of these missions and they get progressively higher level, you see 50 to 60, 65 to 80, 80 to 100. They also generally have a modifier on them. So augmented enemy armor, secondary weapons only, Eximus Stronghold, meaning a lot more enemies. But if you do all 3 of these in the reward pool, you'll see down here there's a whole bunch of different stuff, but you can get an Exilis adapter, a Forma, an Orkin Catalyst blueprint, and an Orkin Reactor blueprint. So they are farmable. You just got to keep an eye on. I reliably get 1 or 2 Reactor or Catalyst blueprints a week. I also can get anywhere up to about a dozen Forma blueprints a week, but that's because Formas are farmed a little bit differently. To explain Formas, got to come out of here. Come on, game. Wake up. The game's running really slow this morning. I'm not sure why. But if we run down here, again, depending on where you are in the star chart, you may or may not have access to the Void Relic station here. But these are all of the different Void Relics, and these are sort of the in-game loot boxes. This is going to be how you get a lot of the Prime parts. So you can see here we have a chance to get a Ballistica Prime out of this. There's another Ballistica Prime, Cernos Prime. There's Rubico Prime parts. So this is going to be how you collect Prime weapons, Prime Warframes. But I'm sure if you were watching, you can also get Forma blueprints out of this, and they're quite common in a lot of these. The higher the item up is, the fuller this bar is, the more likely you are. So these are special missions that you do, and after you collect 10 of an item, it unlocks this, and you can get whatever comes out of this for that. And it's pretty easy to get forma blueprints out of this. This is why I actually have a ton of formas, is because I keep a running total, a constant construction of formas going. So here we can look and see I have 12 owned formas. I actually have 5 blueprints left over, so when this one goes away, I'll have 4 blueprints left over. They do take 24 hours to craft, but I just basically keep these constantly crafting. And then once a week, I'll go ahead and I'll spend like 2 hours running Void Fishers in order to get more blueprints. And that is done up here. This second from last icon is the Void missions. So I look for something that is like a defense mission. What'll happen with the defense mission is you go in, you'll choose a relic. We can click here. And then you'll choose a relic to take in. So let's say we'll take in this one here that has a forma chance, right? You'll go in, and after 5 waves, whatever is in that relic will open up, and you can get that item out of it. Then you got 5 more waves. It'll allow you to pick another relic. You do 5 more waves, it'll open up. And if you do this with 3 other people, which will just happen through the matchmaking, you can choose any item. So if the person, person 3 that you're working with gets a really high item out of theirs, you can choose that item too. And it doesn't take it from them. Everybody can get a copy of that item. So you'll do this, and it's pretty easy to, over the course of like 2 hours, get 5 or 6 formal blueprints, which you can then constantly build over there. So that's the main way to get formas. Your reactors catalysts coming through alerts, invasions, and chance out of the sorties. Low chance, but chance out of the sorties. For the most part, I end up buying my catalysts and reactors. I just buy them with platinum. The formas, though, I haven't bought a forma in months. They're plenty easy enough to farm. Exilus adapters, I also tend to buy those because to make an Exilus, even if you get the blueprint for it, the Exilus adapter blueprint costs 2 formas. I'd rather use the formas for upgrading the weapons rather than putting it into that. So I normally make platinum some other way, selling mod cards, selling weapon parts or something, and then I just go ahead and buy the reactors catalyst and Exilus with the platinum. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments down below. I realize this was a longer one and all over the place. We will come back with a future video where we'll go into some of the basics of modding out, like just good habits to do the best mods that you can, good ways of modding a weapon, warframes, and all of that will come in the future, but this video is long enough. Until then, though, this has been Paler. Thanks for watching.